in time. And we're so fortunate that these webinars are run by such a good friend of the core community, Mr. Mark McDonald, who is up against deadlines with books and TV shows and television appearances. He was last night was on HLN doing his segment again, and it's having some phenomenal results there. So we very much appreciate him being able to spare this time, come here, and to just be part of our core community and be really our ambassador for people looking to transform their lives. So Mark,
I am Mr. Stevie Jones, and I love when you say cut, clean, and flush in that British accent, my friend. Well done. I know you like that. So everyone, welcome to our week 2, our Ignite phase. And I love that Steve talked about the core family, because that's what this is all about. It's a community. And I'm just as inspired. I love, I've been coaching people for many, many years, and nothing is more special than those initial results that people start experiencing in moments in time where in the past they didn't have hope with their health. They're now starting to see what's possible. And that's what the community's been about. And that's what your detox phase was about, where you cut your bloating foods, you added the clean foods and the cleanse supplements, which we all know is phenomenal, and you flushed out your toxins with some good old water. Now, Robin Swain sent me an email, and Robin Swain is someone who's this, and I want to share that she's more than a week into this. I met Robin about 2 years ago at a convention, and she sent me an email about a month ago as we were doing an 8-week run. And she said, Mark, 2 years ago I was weighing 396 pounds. And I was at the worst place in my life. Had physical abuse, had massive injuries, fibromyalgia, just was in a bad place in her life, physically, mentally, and she lost belief in what could be with her body and her health. And I saw her at a convention, and we hugged it out. And I said, Robin, you can do this. It's not what happened in the past. It's what's happening right now every single day and what's in the future. And as long as you keep your chin up, you can get there. And you fast forward 2 years. And because of that one moment where Robin and I hugged it out and she chose to take action, dropped 136 pounds, and now she just achieved her main goal in 8 weeks of getting down to a size 14. And what's even better is she just walked 18.7 miles over the weekend at an elevation of 17,000 feet. That's what this is about. That's what our community is about. Obviously, week 1 and week 2 with igniting your metabolism, but remembering what the future is holding. So on the surface, you might have been here before. You might have dropped your inflated weight before. Many of us have been there, right? Where you do something really good for 7 days and you drop that. But it's different this time because you didn't lose the weight doing a lemonade diet or just juicing all day. You did it legit. And what I mean legit is that we didn't compromise the foundation of what the physiology of your body is. You ate in threes, which you ate every 3 hours, a little bit of protein, a little bit of fat, a little bit of carbs. You had a beautiful quality protein shake in your mid-morning, mid-afternoon. You cleaned out your liver, you cleaned out your kidneys, you cleaned out your colon, maybe more than some of you wanted to do, but you did it. And you did it the right way. So you've set your body up. That's the power of the detox, is you set your body up to win and turn it into a fat burning machine. Now, before we dive into the Ignite phase, I do want to share, when you're dropping 10 pounds, and many of you drop 10 pounds, or you drop 5 pounds or 12 pounds, some people drop more than 10 pounds, realize that that's that inflated weight. As you go through week 2, week 3, week 4, the next 7 weeks, every week there'll be new content delivered on this webcast. But what you have to understand is your results will be a bit slower because you can't drop 10 pounds every single week. It's your body needs to recalibrate, and that you're not inflated weight. So just know that that's why you have to look beyond the scale. Your weight is only part of the equation. You have to look at what's your body fat, what are your inches. That's why you want to take pictures every single week. That's why you want to see how your clothes fit, because certain weeks the scale may not move the number or as much as you want it to. Well, what will move is all those other factors, how you're feeling. And in addition, what's important is that you shift from, many of you during the detox phase, you weigh yourself every day. You need to shift to weighing yourself once a week at the same time first thing in the morning without any clothes on to ensure that you're getting the most accurate measurement. So make sure you do that. Maybe it's really the week that you started, the day you started. If it's Tuesday, then you're doing it every Tuesday. If you started last Friday, like on that Friday when we launched the webcast on Thursday, then you would weigh yourself then. So just make sure you measure yourself from that point. Okay, now it's time to ignite and melt your belly. Now on my HLN series, 8 Weeks, New Body, New Life, I'm the host of the show with myself is Mike Alanos. And Mike was about 200 pounds about a year ago. And he dropped 25 pounds just by eating better. But when we started this HLN series, Mike was coming in about 18% body fat, and he had about 12 more pounds to lose. And he detoxed, and then he ignited. And what he started to see was that initial weight that he dropped, but he was at this plateau, is that when he really dove into this phase, these weeks, this ignite phase, his body started shifting. He started burning fat, especially his belly fat. He started sculpting more, getting the definition that he wanted, and he really restored his digestive system. And now Mike's down to 35 pounds. He's 11% body fat. He's 50 years old, and his goal is going to be now to drop down to 8% body fat. But that's the power of this ignite phase, that wherever you sit, we've already cut, we've already cleaned, we're already flushed. Now we're burning, we're sculpting, and restoring. Now, as you go through this, as you dive into the Facebook community, make sure that you keep your food fun. You can always reference, there's great recipe collections that we have out there, 8-week run recipe collection that you can get to from the core community Facebook page so that you can keep your food tasting good as you're looking at this webcast tonight. So let's dive into it, right? You ready? The first thing we want to talk about is what's new during your ignite phase. Now, we look at complex carbs, exercise, and supplements. What I love is many of you are saying, Mark, when are we going to get the exercise back in? Now, my invitation to you is that every 3 months, you're going to want to start dropping that exercise out. You give your body a break. I was at an event in St. Louis. And a man was saying, Mark, I'm all into the detox. I want to do this, but you know what? I don't want to give up my exercise. I said, look, if you're doing light walking and your normal exercise, go for it. But the reason why you give your body a break is because you actually need to repair that tissue. Just like working, you work, you go on vacation, gives your mind a break. A week off from exercise is a very good thing for your body that allows you to burn more fat efficiently. So every 3 months, you may want to take another week off. Every 3 months, you may want to detox, just so that you keep your body clean and fresh. Now, when we talk about complex carbohydrates, let's look at what those complex carbohydrates are. We start looking at grains, quinoa, adding these things in. And as we go through this process, I'm going to share with you how you can do that and what adjustments you want to make. But before that, let's talk about the number one step, burning your belly fat. So that's step number one, burning your belly fat. When we talk about taking the core burn boost. So when we start looking at your core burn boost, what you want to focus on is doing that in the mid-morning and mid-afternoon. Now, what makes this product so special is that I remember back in the day, next to Gold's Gym Venice, as I started the program in 1999, I love fat burners. I've been a fat burner guru ever since they came out. And I remember that, I call it that jittery, like where you feel like you're going to just have a heart attack because you're so amped up on an adrenaline boost. And what a fat burner does, that's aggressive, is it attacks your adrenal gland, makes you over-release adrenaline. You counter with cortisol. So adrenaline is your body's energy hormone. Cortisol is your body's stress hormone. And it causes chaos in your body. And then it's followed by an epic energy crash. The reason why we added the burn product is to turbocharge your body's ability to burn fat. And we do that in a very gentle, soft way. When we look at a green tea extract, an Andini coca extract, to actually help increase that adrenaline without giving you the jittery or the crash. So you're going to do that in your mid-morning, your mid-afternoon, and with your core shake. And everything that we talked about in the detox phase, remember, each phase you're building upon the previous phase. So it's not like you're doing a whole nother plan. You're just adding additional things to keep building upon that. In addition, we're going to look at a 6th meal. Now, if you're eating 5 meals right now and you're saying, Mark, I'm still not hungry, then you just do half meals. But many of you, remember, as you eat in 3s, as you live this plan, you release your stored fat. Every pound of stored fat releases 3,500. Every pound of stored fat has 3,500 stored calories. So your body, when it's in a balanced state, will use that for fuel. The leaner you get, the more food you need. So if you start getting hungrier, I don't want you to hold off. I want you to eat. Great example, Michael Anos was at the Atlanta Braves game for Mother's Day. And we were just on the show yesterday, and he had a 1:30, he had ate at 10 in the morning. He had a 1:30 shake. And then at 4:30 at the game, he should have had a bar or a shake again. But he said, you know what, I'm just going to drink some water because we're going to go eat dinner in 2 hours. But what happened? Because he skipped that meal, he then went in, overate at dinner, and then fortunately he got right back on plan and had a shake after. But the whole point is that when your body's hungry, you need to feed it. If you don't feed it, your blood sugar drops and you're going to crave carbohydrates. So if you feel like you're starting to get hungry, add that sixth meal in. It keeps your metabolism going. I know it's hard to understand, but your body's a refuel as it goes machine. So the more times you eat smaller, more frequent meals, the more fats you burn, and in addition, the more muscle you build. And muscle, male or female, is your friend. It allows your body to increase the way your metabolism speed and how you burn fat. Then step 2 is going to be sculpting your body by adding cardio and strength training in. Now, when we look at your exercises, many times when people look at how they're going to work out, they're doing one type of exercise. So I want you to think about how you train right now. Are you walking 5 days a week? Are you stuck as a gym rat where you're just going in the gym every single day and you're doing the same thing? I remember when I played soccer, I'd work out for 2 hours a day doing the exact same thing. And then I wasn't sore the next day, and I just kept thinking the more that I would do the same thing, I'd get the results. When I realized it's not about working out harder, it's about working out smarter. See, your body, the way it's set up, is you have red muscle, which is that fat-burning cardio when you're not out of breath. So imagine the time when you're walking on a treadmill, or you're climbing stairs, or you're riding a bike when you're not winded. That's working your red muscle. It's about 50% of your body. So draw a line down your body. Imagine 50% of it's red. You can even write down red. Then the second 50%, your other half of your body, not the second, but your 50%, the other half is your white muscle. And that's high intensity cardio. Now that's tennis, sprinting, spinning, running stairs. That when you're winded and out of breath, when you go, when you explode and recover, that's interval training. And then your strength training is that's when you actually are breaking down muscle fibers in your body. Pilates, yoga, CrossFit, workout class, weights. So that soreness you feel that next day, it's not from lactic acid. It's micro tears in your tissue that you feed your body and you build it back stronger. This is why you're eating in threes. So diversifying and sculpting is understanding how to diversify your exercise so you're maximizing it. Now the one thing is this. Many people, they do their fat-burning cardio before their high-intensity cardio or their strength training. Exact opposite of what you want to do. You see, it takes your body about 20 minutes to start burning fat. And high-intensity cardio and strength training burn sugar. So the bottom line is this, that when you're doing your fat-burning cardio first, you're not even really burning fat, and you've already depleted your sugar store, so by the time you get to your high-intensity cardio and strength training, you don't have enough fuel. By switching it, by doing your high-intensity cardio first or your strength training, and then follow that by the fat-burning cardio, you maximize your body's fuel pathways and maximize your results. See, part of this 8-week run for you is not about having to do more. It's about becoming better at what you do, about working out smarter. So very simply, and adjust these days to match you, you'd want to do 2 to 3 days of your strength training, about 30 minutes, 2 to 3 days of your high-intensity cardio on opposite days, and then you'd follow that by fat-burning cardio. And initially this week, start with the exercises you enjoy. Now, what you'll see throughout the series, I'm going to challenge you, I'm going to invite you to diversify your options. But for right now, as you get going, go with what you're comfortable with. Because you just took a week off, so go with what you know so that you feel good with that, but follow that rhythm. And if you're not exercising at all, if you weren't exercising before you started your detox, just start with 4 to 5 days of walking or fat-burning cardio. And then as you get more into a rhythm throughout these next 8 weeks, diversify by following this. This is how you sculpt. Now, when we talk about products with part of the sculpting, as we look at the build, and there's been a lot of action about the build. And many of you on the Facebook page are saying, Mark, when do we do the build? Abby, when do we do the build? Steve, when do we do the build? Now the build is a phenomenal way to build lean body mass. And I just want to make it clear again that your lean body mass controls the speed of your metabolism. So having that build product is so important for people who want to take their body and health to that next level. Now, this is the one thing. If your goal is to lose weight, what you don't want to do is be taking the build, the burn, and the ProBio. I'm going to be talking about the ProBio next. But the burn, as I shared, is the fat burner you need. The core shake is your foundational piece, and then the burn is the fat burner that you bring in. It's not as aggressive, but very effective. Now the build, if you're at the weight you want, then you can add the build into your plan. But if you're not at the weight you want to drop yet, hold off on the build, get down to the weight you want, and then you can add it in. I'm going to use Mike Alanos as an example again. He dropped the 35 pounds. He's now at 11% body fat. His goal isn't to lose any more weight, but he still wants to strip down more fat. So Mike's taken the burn, he's taken the build, and he's taken the ProBio. He's taken all of those because he doesn't want to lose weight anymore. He needs to build muscle and strip down fat. Now, once he gets to the body fat he wants, probably doesn't need the burn anymore, but he'll keep taking the build and he'll cycle that. You want to eventually cycle the build and the burn. 8 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Okay, now we look at your restore. So you burned, you sculpted, and now we're restoring. With your detox, use senna. And the senna extract is a natural laxative. So it's a natural laxative that actually allowed your colon to be cleaned. And it cleaned out everything. But we got to keep your digestive system healthy because it's not what you eat, it's what you metabolize. So if you don't bring live bacteria back in, you're not going to win. Now, why is the core ProBio so powerful? Well, there's different types of probiotics. There's really 3. The first one is a 1 strain, which is like an acidophilus. So if you go to the store, you'll see something that says acidophilus. That's 1 strain of probiotic. And probiotic are live bacteria that your body naturally makes, but you supplement with it to actually help move food and digest well. And acidophilus is 1 strain. The ProBio is more than 1 strain. It's 10 different strains of probiotics. Over 1 billion live cultures, live bacteria to help you metabolize and digest your food better. So the second type of probiotic is something that has multiple strains like the ProBio. And then the third type is a pharmaceutical one, where it's actually a pharmaceutical made product. So to me, out of looking just as a nutritionist, the 1 strain is good. The pharmaceutical, I'm going to avoid things that are manufactured unless you have no choice, like you have Crohn's or colitis and you need that from your doctor. But if I'm looking at the most effective, I'd want to have a multiple strain one with over 1 billion live culture, and that's exactly what the ProBio is. So we want to keep your digestive system healthy so you continue to burn fat and you continue to metabolize your food. So you're going to add your ProBio in your mid-afternoon shake. So you can add it mid-afternoon or mid-morning, either or. You just do 1 of the packets per day. So you're going to do your burn mid-morning, mid-afternoon, and then your ProBio mid-morning or mid-afternoon. And this allows your digestive system to optimally work. So there you go. Let's recap. So what we're looking at is you're going to burn, you're going to sculpt, and you're going to restore. And that sets you up to win. You're burning and melting your belly fat. You're sculpting your body by activating your engine with cardio and strength training. And you're restoring your digestive system with probiotics. Now, as we go through this, I'm going to share some of the new carbohydrates that we're adding, some of the new complex carbs in the 6th meal. So as we go through your meal plan, we'll focus on that. As I shared, this phase after phase approach, it's the same. So your portion sizes for males and females are the same. Now, 2 additional products that I think could benefit you if you're not getting it. Number 1 is psyllium husk. If you're not getting enough fiber, so after you go off senna and you had problems being regular before the cleanse, before you actually took the cleanse, then you want to add psyllium husk. It's a soluble, insoluble fiber. You want to do 5 grams either once or twice a day, morning and evening, and that will help you stay regular along, obviously. The probiotic works differently, but that will help you as well. Then omega-3. Now, if you're eating salmon every single day, don't worry about this. Give yourself a hand right now. If you're not, your body's not getting enough omega-3. I want you to ask yourself, do you want better skin, better hair, better nails, less inflammation, better digestive system, better ability to metabolize fat? Well, if you're not getting omega-3, your body's not working as well because it's an essential fat. And you really can only get that through fish, through your natural food, or flaxseed. So you're going to need to supplement either with flaxseed oil, flaxseed gel caps if you're plant-based. Fish oil is great. Just make sure you choose a pharmaceutical grade as your omega-3. Or you could do a chia seed. Hemp seed has it, but you want to get about 3,000 milligrams worth of it so that you're getting the right amount of EPA and DHA. That's what you're looking for in the omega-3. Over 500 milligrams of EPA and DHA each when you look at the label. Pharmaceutical grade if you choose fish oil. Then when we look at just a recap before I prescribe the meal plans here or show you them, you continue to cut the foods that bloat you. So we're not adding those foods in. I'm going to show you exactly what we're adding in the meal plans. You continue drinking your water, so that's not changing either. When we talk about the complex carbs and calorie-dense veggies, so basically we look at complex carbs and calorie-dense veggies, and these are the things that can make you bloat. 1 to 2 times you can add the maximum to your meals. Now I want to share with you, a lot of you will say, Mark, I love the detox plan. Why do I need to add more stuff in? You don't. I live a hybrid of detox, ignite, and thrive. And eventually you'll learn all the entire thrive phase. But I live a hybrid of all of it. But many times I might go a couple days without complex carbs. So I don't want you to think you need to add oatmeal or brown rice or quinoa or beans or sweet potatoes. You don't need to add those super clean complex carbs. But if you feel you're getting hungrier sooner between meals, it will give you more satisfaction because they're a little more, they take longer to break down. So you can just make sure that your actions meet your expectations and you evolve this with you. Then, as I shared, you can repeat the detox anytime during this phase if you ever feel your body is needed for a cleanse or you need a reset. Now, what I mean by that, I'm going to answer that question at the end of this webinar. Basically, this is the deal. If you fall off plan for one meal, don't worry about it. Just get back on plan. But if you go 3 to 4 days and you really follow a rhythm, you can reboot your plan by repeating the 7-day detox. So you choose between the detox foods and the ignite foods. Don't feel you have to do that. You're just evolving your plan with you. And if you want to repeat the 7-day detox for a second week, you can. We had many people who did a 14-day detox. So just remember, this is your plan. I'm guiding you every step of the way. The core community, all the health professionals are helping. We're all working together here. But this is your plan. So take the tools, apply it to you, and ask questions. Now, when we look at when you're doing your shake and your products, so the core shake and the core shake for the men, so we're looking at 1 serving for the females, 2 servings for the men. If you're not hungry and you're a man, you can do 1 serving. You don't have to do 2, but if you still feel you're not hungry, or you're more hungry, do 2 servings. You're going to do your boost burn. That's going to be 1 capsule mid-morning, mid-afternoon. Okay, and then you're going to do your ProBio either mid-morning or mid-afternoon. And then that's going to be when you start looking at, oh, I don't have my breakfast slide here. So sorry. Your breakfast, so that mid-morning is what you're going to do there. But with your breakfast, it's the same thing. You're going to choose your protein, your fat, your carbohydrates. You're set up to win. Dive into the group for additional ideas. We look at adding oatmeal to it. So guess what? You can do an oatmeal meal with a little bit of core in that oatmeal. That would be your protein boost, and you'd be set up to win. There's phenomenal, some egg white pancakes that you can dive into. So really dive into the recipes so you keep it clean. So that's your first meal. Your mid-morning meal is going to be your shake. Then your lunch, same thing. You can choose whatever you like. You can do chicken with some quinoa, some asparagus. You can choose. Just make sure you focus on your protein, carbs, and fat. So make sure you follow your plan. And when we look at it, a great lunch, chicken, brown rice, and avocado is something that you can do. Then when you look at the mid-afternoon, same thing, your shake, men and women, you're going to do your burn capsule, and then build only if your goal is to still not lose weight. That's when you would add the build. And then when we look at your dinner, an example could be halibut with some green beans and some sliced almonds. Basically, protein, carb, fat, dive into it. And if you need additional fiber, you can put the psyllium husk also at that dinner. And then that's it. And then late night, if you're adding that 6th meal, you can do a shake. I like to do a shake. Or you can add, once again, a protein, fat, and carbohydrates. And when I look at the shake, and I always, before bed, will do a core shake. I do 3 shakes a day, 3 real meals a day, and my 7th meal, it depends on what I feel like. I might do another shake. I might do another real meal. Once again, you're better eating more meals than bigger meals. Okay, smaller, more frequent. And once you get to 7, then we can talk about increasing your portion size. So that's really your recap. So before I get into the questions, let me recap it. What you're going to focus on, obviously, with your ignite phase, where you're melting your belly, is your burning, your sculpting, and your restoring. And the biggest thing is that you still follow the same parameters that you learned in your detox phase. You're still cutting, cleaning, flushing. You're adding new products in. You're adding some complex carbs. But overall, it's the same plan, and you're diversifying your exercise. Now, when I look at, before I get to the questions, Kelly Bonamo, and she's been rocking the 8-week run plan, and she's rocking the core challenge. And Kelly, for the past 7 weeks, she posted her before and after picture. She's not done yet, but she's down 24 pounds, 10% body fat. And I've known Kelly for probably about 2 years, phenomenal health professional. And she was just waiting for the moment to really make a stand. And what made it so simple for her to do it became the entry point of what this core plan's all about. The simplicity of it. It's plug and play. So you simply know your protein, fat, carbs every meal. You have ideas, you have recipes, you have the right products, you supplement with the right shakes, and you're set up to win. It's just easy to do. And when you just follow the plan and implement the strategies, you take your body and health to another level. And that's exactly what Kelly's done. So dive in. When you go to the core challenge, you'll see Kelly's before and afters. They are incredible. And when you check it out on Facebook, her results are inspiring to us all. Top 3 questions of the week. Every webcast, we're going to do this. The top 3 questions people ask. What if I fall off plan? I already kind of answered that. I'm going to answer it again. If you fall off plan, just get right back on plan. If it's just one meal, shake it off. If you fall off plan and then you expect to be down a couple pounds the next day, your actions aren't meeting your expectations. Just get right back on plan. Is there a way for me to add a bloating food back into the plan without ruining everything? Of course. Once again, your actions must meet your expectations. If someone comes to me and they expect to lose 40 pounds or 30 pounds, and let's say they expect to lose 30 pounds and they want to start adding alcohol back in their plan in week 2, will that result? They may not achieve that 30 pounds in 8 weeks. Now, can they achieve it in maybe 4 to 5 months to 6 months? Yeah. So it all just depends on what are your goals. And if you want to add stuff back in, go for it. Just know that your results are going to be slower. But what's most important is that you cross the finish line, and you can cross the finish line 1% at a time. Remember Robin Swain, 2 years, down 136 pounds, crossing the finish line, getting stronger and stronger. If I don't want to lose weight and I want to add more muscle, how do I adjust the plan to accommodate this goal? So if you don't want to lose weight and you want to add more muscle, it's very simple. You just need to probably eat a little bit more. So if you're a female, you might have to add a little bit more protein, a little bit more fat, a little bit more carbs. Emily Wilson and Kevin Wilson, great friends. They own a gym in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Kevin is like Michael Anos, that he doesn't want to lose any more weight, but he wants to build muscle. So he's doing the burn, he's doing the build, he's doing the ProBio. Now, Emily still is super fit, and she doesn't want to lose any weight either, but she wants to build muscle and continue to strip down some body fat. So Emily's doing a hybrid of the female portions and the male portions, and she's making sure that she's satisfied after every meal and then ready to eat when it's time to eat. She's building muscle, stripping down fat. They both look incredible. So those are your top 3 questions of the week. Now, I just want to leave you with this before Steve wraps it up and go right to our Q&A on the Facebook group. You're week 2 in. The excitement's still there. You're still ready. You're still having fun. There's going to be a moment, maybe it's next week, maybe it's the week after, that the novelty of this plan is going to wear off. That's why you attending these weekly webinars matter so much. That's why you being part of the Facebook group matters so much. That's why you asking every question matters so much. That's why it's crucial that you enjoy your food and love your exercise. Because these web series, we did our detox last week, we did our ignite this week, but next week is all about spicing up your food, keeping your exercise fun, and shifting your payoffs into more positive escapes. Because many of you, and myself included, when our kids or ourselves win a championship, what do we want to do? We want to go eat. When you graduate college or high school, what do you want to do? You want to go eat. When you have a promotion at work, what do you want to do? You want to go eat. That's how we're trained to use food as the benefit that we focus on. It's our reward system. So we have to shift some of that. So next week, and from now on, the web series, up until we introduce the Thrive Phase, every single week, you're going to get powerful nuggets of information that's going to catch it so the novelty doesn't wear off. And if it does start to wear off, you're going to immediately have a support system that will bring you up. And I'm sharing this with you because I've personally coached over 40,000 clients and millions of people have lived a plan. So I know the journey you're walking. I walk it, we all walk it, and we walk it together every single day. And we have to keep it fresh, we have to keep it fun, and we have to keep it exciting, and it has to bring value to you. So remember, you've detoxed, you're igniting, you're turning your body into a fat burning machine. And the next 7 weeks is your time. 8 weeks, new body, new life, next level, here you come. And right now we are going to get ready to go right to the Q&A. But don't forget, Mr. Stevie Jones, if you can come in and wrap it up, and then we're going to go answer some questions together.
I am a master rapper, Mark.
I love that.
Lyrical sense. A little bit. Do you know what? I really enjoyed that. One of the things that you said there that really resonated with me, and similar experience with you, having family members that I've seen diet, having friends that I've seen diet. One of the things that it feels with most people when they diet is this, that food is the enemy, that food is bad.
Exactly.
Like food is, stay away from food and all this kind of stuff. And so when you say that the 8-week transformation is about loving food and understanding how it's your friend and how it benefits you, I think that's one of the most important messages that we can share with
I agree, because Steve, you and I both know, and everyone on this webinar knows, the moment you don't like your food, you quit. The moment you get bored of your exercise, you quit. This is not, guys, we've been here. All of us have been here. So it's about knowing that you got to keep this fun, and that's why we're doing this. I know last week and tonight we focused on a lot of the logistics of the plan, of the tools, and you need the tools to win. But you also need to have the excitement and the variation and the new ideas and fresh ideas, and that's what this whole series is about, and a part of the whole core community is about.
No, I agree. I love it. And we bring it back to this slide that's on their screen right now. Don't forget, you are not in this by yourself. The biggest thing that you can do when you're in an 8-week program like the 8-week body transformation is to have a support system in place. So don't forget, www.coreinnate.com. That's where you can, if you're sat there thinking right now, so-and-so, Shelley, this would be a great program for her. She can begin right now and pick up from the very beginning and run the program afresh for her. Register new, and if you're somebody that's currently on the plan, you can go and review coreinnate.com. Facebook group page, coreinnate.com/Facebook. Constantly updated every day. There's fresh little things going on there.